Hello, my name's Blair, and I'm one of the owners of Chimera, and I'm here to talk to you about unlimited verses. I'm going to step through how to play using a Senran Kagura Volume 1 and Volume 2 starter deck. Here are the current decks for Senran Kagura. Inside each deck, you'll have a battle deck and 5 character cards. As you take damage, your character cards will gain levels. As you can see, they seem to pretty much lose clothes, just as they do in the video game. So let's get started. Here is the play mat. You've got a red gauge and a blue gauge. Your deck goes here. You have a trash area, basically a discard pile. And then you have your character deck. This has your characters that you're playing with, levels 1 all the way to 5. You have a support area, and this is where all the fun happens. This is where you'll be putting your battle cards. We'll show you in a second. And here is your damage zone. This is where you'll put your character cards as you take damage. Now we'll take a closer look at the cards. These two are battle cards. They say battle underneath in English. And you have your attack and defense in red and blue. And this is a support card. It says support on the bottom in English. First, let's take a closer look at our battle cards. Up at the top is their cost, how much you have to have engaged in order to play. There's your actual rules text, the name of the card, your attack, your defense, and right down here you have your type of attack, whether it's a slash or an ice attack. You have how many damage points the attack does. And this area here has your icons for whether it's a combo, unlimited, or aerial attack card. Well, let's go through the game. To start, every player draws 4 cards. There is no mulligan system, so whatever you draw is yours for the game. The first player's first turn, you draw 1 card, and then every player's turn after that, you draw 2. Now, after you've drawn your cards for the turn, you can now charge your gauge. You take 1 card from your hand that you don't feel you need for the game, and you put it into gauge. A red card can go into the red gauge only. A blue card can only go into the blue gauge, and if it's a yellow card, you may place it in either your red or blue gauge. Green and purple cards cannot be put to gauge. Now, since I don't actually have any cards to battle with or enough gauge to play anything, I'm going to pass the turn. My opponent will have done the same most likely, so let's move on to my second turn. Now, we'll charge our card for the turn. I'm going to charge a blue card to the blue gauge. After you've charged for the turn, you can play support cards. Support cards say support on the bottom. They have a cost like any other card, and you may play one support card per turn. After a support card is played, it's placed to your gauge of the appropriate color. Whether you play a support card or not, the next step is to actually have a battle. You take a battle card from your hand and place it face down in front of you. And now your opponent has a chance to place a battle card to defend with face down in front of them, and then you both flip at the same time. Now let's take a closer look at the battle card that I've just played. In order to play a card, you need to be able to afford the gauge. This battle card has a 1 red and 1 blue gauge cost. That means in order to play this card, I needed to have 1 card in my blue gauge and 1 card in my red gauge, which I had. My opponent has played a battle card that, as you can see, required 0 cards in gauge for both red and blue. Battle resolution in Senran Kagura and Unlimited Versus is simple. You add your attacking totals, the numbers in the red, and compare them against your opponent's blue defense totals. For instance, this battle, I'm attacking with 900 points of attack. My opponent has 700 points of defense. You win an attack if your attack is greater than your opponent's defense. Since my attack was greater, I win the battle. First, you and your opponent take the battle cards and place them to gauge. Again, if it's a red card, it goes to red gauge, blue to blue. Since both of ours are yellow, we get to choose which gauge we put it in. Next, my opponent takes a point of damage, so takes the top character card, puts it into the damage zone, and reveals the next character card. Once you receive 5 points of damage, you lose. When a character card comes into play, sometimes there's text. This character card says, draw a card when it comes into play. So, my opponent does. What makes Unlimited Versus a lot more of a game is the fact that it has this system for combos, power-up attacks or unlimited attacks, and aerial attacks or sort of finishing moves. This helps recreate the sort of one-on-one fighting game feel, but in a card game. So let's take a look at what this mechanic brings. Your battle cards can have either 1, 2, 3, or none of the icons you see here. The icons being combo, unlimited, and aerial. First, let's talk about combo. This battle card has a combo icon. This means that if you win an attack using this card, you can place it to the trash instead of to your gauge after a successful attack, and then place another battle card and perform another attack. If the battle card you use also has combo on it, you could repeat this process, doing 1, 2, 3, even more points of damage in one turn. But remember, you can only continue to combo if you win each battle. Next, let's talk about the unlimited icon. This icon means that if you are losing a battle with this battle card, you may place another card from your hand that has the unlimited icon on it and add the attack and defense totals to that existing battle. The card that you're taking from your hand goes to the trash, and you may keep putting unlimited cards down and increasing your total until hopefully you win. Here, you would add the 500 plus the 300 plus your original total. That card would go to the trash, and after the battle has been resolved, the original battle card goes to gauge. Lastly, you have the aerial icon. This is very similar to the combo icon in play. If you win a battle and you have an aerial icon, you may put that battle card to trash. If you do, you then can play the aerial card for your next attack. Aerial cards are green and specifically have a green icon in the top left-hand corner. Be warned, they may be powerful, but they also come with a lot of restrictions. Well, that's the basics on how to play Unlimited versus Samurai Kagura. I know this is a bit rough of a video and really not the greatest way to learn, but hopefully over the next couple of weeks we'll get some demonstration games up online and hopefully a little bit better of a how-to video up online. Until then, hope this helps a little bit, and enjoy. If you're in the EU or UK, why don't you visit us online at shop.thechimera.co.uk.